Hello and welcome to another live stream. How is everyone doing? Hopefully this is all working okay. Yeah, we are. Okay, cool. Awesome. Always worrying when starting these streams. Hoping it's all going to work. How is everyone doing? Hope you're all having a good week. The weather's certainly improved outside, which is awesome. So we'll wait a few more minutes for a few more people to jump in, and we'll do some Qogita sourcing, which I've not done for a little while, to be fair. So yeah, it should be good, some good fun to do that actually. And yeah, see if there's any deals on there. I've not done any Qogita sourcing in a little while myself, and yeah, I need to do some basically. So I think it's about a week or so since I've done some sourcing. But yeah, how's everyone doing anyway? Hopefully you're all good. Hope someone actually turns up to this, otherwise, I'm talking to myself, it's fine. People can watch it afterwards. To be fair, whenever I see the weather's nice outside, I always wonder, why would anyone come in and watch me? you could be outside. But anyway, it's all good. So let me just put a quick message out to everyone saying we are live, or I am live. I am live. Seems weird, I am live. I'll put we are live. So yeah, cool. Awesome. So exciting news then. We have the MacBook giveaway. So if you are watching this now or watching this later on, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. No one's chatting so far. I'm giving away a MacBook, a pair of AirPods, and a £100 Amazon voucher. So yeah, that'll be drawn on the 21st, I think it is, of December. So it's got a little while yet, but every time I do one of these streams, a video, I'm gonna put a code in there so you can get extra entries in to win the MacBook. This stream is sponsored by OA Hero, so if you want to get 200 extra entries, you can buy OA Heroes one way, or if you've already bought it, let me know. And if you sign up to Qogita as well and make your first order, then you can also get extra entries as well. So, hey Fashion, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So yeah, lots of ways to enter that MacBook giveaway. Link actually is not in the description. I just realized I've boo-booed there massively, but let me just get the link quickly. And then you guys can, I'll throw that in the chat. So you guys can go and enter for the MacBook. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm crazy at giving away another MacBook. In fact, I'd like to give away two, but let's see how well the competition does. And if it does really well, then maybe I'll double it. I'm not sure. Hey Empire, how's it going? Hopefully everything's okay with you. How is Amazon going for everyone? Right. Anyway, I'm going to move over and I'm going to get going on some Qogita sourcing. But if you guys have got any questions about Qogita sourcing or Amazon or anything like that, let me know. I can always answer that, or any other random questions. Let me just put myself on to Do Not Disturb, and we'll do some sourcing. So I want to go to Talking Head and make this larger so you guys can see what's going on. And yeah, let's go from here basically. Cool, nice, awesome. So yeah, so what I've done here basically, I am using 3 tools here. I'm using Qogita, obviously. You can get signed up for that. You can get £120 off your first order using the code FBA Mogul when you sign up. You can also try and, if you've got an existing account, you may as well try and put it in, see if it works. I'm using Qogita Price Drops, which is a server run by my younger brother who monitors Qogita, which is the website we're buying from, for any kind of price drops, price errors, that kind of thing. And then we're putting that CSV that's spit out every hour, every 3 hours, every 6 hours, and every hour, and putting it into Arbisource so we can actually scan these and see if there's any profitable. Just because an item's dropped down in price doesn't mean it's profitable. So Empire's saying, what issues were your brother having with Qogita API? They had outage last week and haven't run into issues so far. I'm not sure of the exact technical details of what went wrong there. I have to ask, but something went wrong anyway. It's now fixed. So yeah. Hey ER, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So yeah, I've run 2 scans today. So this bottom one here is 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. So we've got 5,000 products to go through there, which have matched up and profitable. We've also got 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., which has got 2,744. So a decent number of things to look at. And, many of you already know the way I like to filter Arbisource, but I'll go through it again for those of you that are new or watching for the first time. First thing I like to do, goes to filters, probably put like a pound profit in to start with. It just gives us a lot of, so my filters, by the way, are very open, and that way I can filter the results down. Better to have wide open filters on RB source and then filter down on the results than have really tight filters, in my opinion. Exclusions, I'm just going to exclude results of that buy box. And that's pretty much it for now. We'll apply filters. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to order this by confirmed monthly sales. So I'm looking from the fastest to the slowest selling items that are profitable, essentially, and we'll go through and analyze and see if they're profitable or things like that, basically. So, hey, FBA, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to, if you've got any questions as we're going along, feel free to ask. Like I said, what I've done here basically is take the Qogita price drops, the CSV. Every hour, basically, it spits out a CSV file, just a file essentially, with all the drops in there. You can put it into RB source, and then, like I say, just because something's dropped in price doesn't mean it's profitable. We'll put it into RB source, and that will help us determine if it's profitable or not. All the links for all the software and Qogita and everything like that, by the way, is in the description. And don't forget as well to enter up for the giveaway as well. So, and at some point during this giveaway, remind me, I'll give you the code, and you can get the extra entry on the on the MacBook giveaway. So cool. Right then, so top one here, we really need to get rid of this. I'm 99% sure this is an IP brand, but it actually gives us a chance potentially to actually look for IP brands and see why they are. So this one here, let's have a look what the price is. So obviously it looks good initially, £1.63 is the cost, so we're making £1.55. This is a 10,000 times per month. So if this was something you could buy, this is a killer product. It might be, actually, to be fair. I could be wrong on some of these IP ones. But I'm pretty sure this one is. But so yeah, 10,000. Okay, bought multiple times this month, to be fair. That doesn't mean 10,000, but yeah, it's a lot though. Okay, the problem with this one is it's a transparency item. So this means essentially that this brand has enrolled this product into what's called the transparency program on Amazon. Essentially gives every single product a serial number. It's like a QR code essentially, and you can't sell on this. You can't sell this on Amazon unless you've got the transparency code. So be very aware of that essentially. And yeah, we can see that there's not many sellers on there because I guess no one can get the transparency codes. Transparency codes are made for Amazon specifically. So if you buy from Qogita, if we went ahead and bought this on Qogita, then we are extremely unlikely to get the transparency code. You'll notice here I'm using OA Hero. I definitely need to mark this down as a transparency product actually, but we've also got the GTIN info here as well. We can click on that and just double check to make sure it's the same product. But yeah, this one here is transparency, so unfortunately we have to avoid it. Well, it's not worth taking a gamble to buy it from Qogita, hoping it has transparency codes, because it's 9 times out of 10 it won't have them. And there's no returns on Qogita. So yeah. Cool. Right, so we'll skip that one anyway. I need to mark that down as transparency. Hey, Umar, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming on, logging on. Right, Bioderma is another one here. So what I can see, looking here, that this is an item that's climbing in price over the past 90 days. Kind of looks kind of steadily increasing, which is kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure Bioderma, again, is going to be one of these IP brands, but we'll have a look anyway and see. So the cost of goods of this one is £6.51, so we'll put that cost of goods into seller amp. So it's £2.67 profit, 41% ROI. Looks pretty sick to me. It is a bit of a price spike on this one, but I don't mind prices going up if they're nice and steady like this one is, which is quite nice to see, to be fair. It's not like a sudden price increase. Let's go to the year, and we can see that, it pretty much does live around 16. It's been down to 12, £9, £13, but it's come back up to sort of 16, 15, £16. So, yeah, I don't know why. This is why OA Hero is good, by the way, because I sometimes have these like biases in my head about, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is like IP, and maybe I'm mixing it up with another brand that looks very similar. But yeah, we'll have a look at this one and evaluate it. So there's a lot of sellers on this listing. So this looks pretty sick. This one here, if it's all good. SEP last year doesn't look too good on the seller account. Yeah, I'll have a look at that in a second, mate. You're 100% right. I did notice that myself. From a seller count point of view, it looks okay right now. Let's have a quick look on Qogita quickly. Obviously, profit and ROI looking pretty sick. Price-wise, I'm happy with the way that's going. That's trending up quite nicely. It sells 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month sometimes when it's a little bit cheaper, which is pretty sick. So overall looking pretty good. So why do I think this brand is IP? So there's nothing in the 3 months, but we do have something over here, this sudden drop down. What I'll do is I'll zoom in on this and see. And we do have a sudden drop down here of sellers, where a lot of sellers may be being kicked off. And this could be indicative of an IP claim. We'd have to possibly look at some other Bioderma products to see. We'll look at the year and see if there's any other big spikes. So there's obviously this one here, which we just saw, which kind of looks interesting. Now, it's always important, by the way, to zoom into these things, because if you go like something like this, for example, a big drop could look very sudden when you've got such a wide time scale. But when you zoom in, you might see it's more gradual. So this one here, for example, it looks much more severe when we were looking at it earlier. Now it doesn't look so bad. Whereas when you're looking at here, it does actually, that one looks a bit like a sudden drop, and it kind of is in a way, but it actually is more kind of gradual. So kind of interesting. But yeah, to be honest, this one actually looks okay. So what do I do when I'm looking at a brand like this and I'm like, okay, this looks overall very positive, to be fair. There is a slight red flag over here in September, but it's not enough to really make me not buy it. But it does warrant further investigation. So what I'd probably do is go to Bioderma, I'd search it in beauty, and I'd open up 5 or 10 different products. Now, one yellow flag on this is that it's a sponsored brand. So a lot of people are paying to sponsor it. These are Urage over here. We've got Bioderma over here. So yeah, kind of interesting. So what I'd do is I'd probably just open up this one. I don't want to crash the stream, because last time I opened up too many tabs, it kind of crashed it. So I'll open up a few. Let's go for this 9K. Guys, it's something that sells a lot. So you're getting a bit of sort of an IP complaint lesson here as well, and as well as Qogita. And what I'm looking for here, this one's a real slow one actually. We'll get rid of. Yeah, I want to go for far. Let's have a quick look actually. Why not? I was looking for faster selling items. Nothing there. Let's skip on that one. But there was no massive indicator. I swear on this one it said it was selling a lot. Let's go for this one as well. What I'm looking for is fast selling items. So this one's a slow selling one as well. So let's just not look at this one. But we do see the occasional little drop. Nothing too crazy. Anyway, let's look at this one which sells 9,000 a month and this one which sells 7,000. So again, I'm looking for any red flags. What are the red flags? Yellow flag is a sponsored listing. A red flag is the sellers on the listing. A green flag is lots of Amazon FBA sellers, which there certainly are. A red flag is a sudden drop in sellers, which I'm not seeing here. We also don't see it in September either. So it might have just been that listing, but we'll check another one as well here. We'll scroll down. Again, on this one, I think we've got a decent number of sellers. We do. And we go to the year as well, and we don't really see any big drops. So do you know what? I think this brand's absolutely fine. I think we've already found a really good deal, assuming it's still available. So, okay. Now, okay, kind of interesting. Okay, let's go back actually. So I'm laughing to myself there a little bit. I'm chuckling to myself because I see there's 11,500 stock. So, let's open this up on Amazon again. Let's have a quick look. So let's see how much it actually sells. I can't remember. It was 1 to 2,000, wasn't it? It's interesting. So the price is 5.4. Let's just double check that again. So it's excluding VAT times 1.2. Yeah, 6.48. 16.49. Our break-even price is around £13, I'd say. Yeah, 13 something. So not too bad, really. So, oh God, not 660. Change the buy price quickly. So this is just me going through the whole analysis. This is buy box, but lowest price is 15.80. We'll go on 15.80 for now. So it's still going to be 34% ROI, £2.28 profit. It's looking promising, to be fair. The only thing that puts me off is this 11,000 stock. Now, I don't mind that. Well, it's not ideal, to be fair. If it was 2,000, 3,000 a month, maybe. It's 1,000 a month right now. So there's like 10 and a half months of stock in there. 11 months, 11 and a half months of stock. That's the only thing that really kind of sucks here, is there's too much stock. And if they restock this, it could be a bit rubbish. So, this is a really good deal. I'm a bit worried about this stock level, because with this amount of stock out there, I think it could easily get crashed, this item and price. So, yeah, interesting anyway. Another thing we can use OA Hero here, which inserts this button onto the page. We click that. We just check this is the same product. So, Bioderma, Sensibo, HTO, micellar water, sensitive skin, 500ml. that just shows you there that it's the same product, which is always good to know. So yeah, anyway, this one looked very, very promising. Bioderma is definitely a brand that looks very promising, to be fair. But this one here, it ticked all the boxes when it came to Amazon. But the final hurdle I had to go through was like how much stock was available. And there's 11,000 stock, 11,132. So that's a ridiculous amount of stock. So here is an example of where we probably wouldn't buy this. Or maybe everyone's seeing this and no one's going to buy it, which makes there's an opportunity. Now, the other thing you can do if you're an absolute baller is buy all 11,432 units and pray they don't restock it. But I don't recommend that. So, it's the kind of thing I would do, but maybe not 11,000 units though. If they promised me, they said, like, that is it, there's no more stock, I would buy that. But obviously they can't make that promise. Yeah, and it's been in stock since a while. So yeah, unfortunately that one. Unfortunately, it looked very good. It's not. So anyway, these are just again trying to articulate my thought process when it comes to sourcing on Qogita, what I'm looking at, and how I'm making my decisions on all this kind of thing essentially. And that's a good way for you guys to learn how to source and be profitable on Qogita. Which I'm not going to lie, it's getting tougher now to find good deals on there. There are still amazing deals, to be fair, but in the past you used to be able to go on there and find them within 5 minutes. Now it takes a little bit more time. Saying that though, that was quite a nice deal, just too much stock. So, okay, next one here. So this is an interesting one. The profit's a little bit low. I mean, I put £1 there to try and give us some more results so we can analyze them. It's probably on the very borderline of what I'd want to be making. One thing I do like, though, is the price looks somewhat stable. We'll have a look at it and actually open it up and have a look here. So the buy price is £2.77. It looks like it's quite a small item, which is definitely going to help on your prep costs and on your shipping costs and stuff like that. So something to keep in mind. So it's £2.77. This is kind of interesting here because Arbisource is telling us it's £1.11 profit. But SellerAmp's telling us it's 47p profit. So I'm not sure what's gone wrong here on this one. Sells 9,000 times a month. Well, according to that, it's actually 1,000, 2,000. Price is somewhat stable, but it's a little bit maybe slightly inflated. Normally around £5.30. But the point here is, though, for whatever reason, this is just not correct. Either Arbisource is not correct, or so what's happening here, Amazon is saying the fees are higher than we're expecting. So there's something wrong with Arbisource here. It's saying the fees are £2.25, but Arbisource is telling us, sorry, SellerAmp's telling us $2.42 plus 56p plus a few other bits as well. So that one's just no good. Cool, move on. And obviously, when I'm doing sourcing, I'm doing this all lightning quick. Speed is key when doing sourcing. So yeah. We've got another Bioderma down here. Looks, again, we know this brand's pretty good now, so we'll have a look at this brand. Looks pretty promising. So, again, a very stable buy box from what I can tell here. But obviously, we need to look at the chart properly. So, the buy price on this is $7.14. And the great thing about Arbisource, by the way, it puts the price including VAT for us, so it makes it easier. So, £1.29. So, immediately I'm thinking here, this is pretty thin. I could still potentially sell this and make money. One thing I'm thinking about is how big this item is, like how heavy it is. It's 1 litre, so it's going to be about 1 kilogram. So we could fit maybe 20 to a box. A box cost about, £3 or something like that. So just something to factor in maybe, that we're going to lose about 10p per unit, 15p per unit to sort of send this in. We've got prep costs as well, unless you self-prep, of course. So just something I'm always keeping in mind. So we're probably whittling down to maybe about £1, maybe 90p per unit, which I don't mind, to be fair. If I can sell 1,000 of these a month, I'm happy with that. If I can sell 1,000 of these a month, making £1 profit, I'll take that. Obviously, that's a little bit optimistic, but you get my kind of thought process behind that. Notice this seller here, web market, is on a lot of these Bioderma products. Kind of interesting. So again, same as before, price is pretty stable. It's been a little bit lower in the past, but nothing too crazy. Looking at the history for the year, it's definitely been lower, which gives us not much room for error, really. So I would say the past, since March, the prices, it may be a little bit inflated to the past history, but it could be this is the new bottom. It's hard to say, though, really. I would say with this one, there's not much margin, really, but we'll have a quick look on Qogita and see how much stock there is. I'm just interested, actually, whether this is ridiculously stock. So, you know what? At 576, this is the kind of one where you could buy it. Unfortunately, this one here has no seller invoice. So one thing you want to do when you buy it from Qogita, by the way, is you can see, if I zoom in here a little bit, you can see you've got this little icon here, marketplace invoice available. You only want to buy from sellers that give you this, and you want to punish these sellers essentially that don't give you this. Now the reason you want this essentially is it just gives you that extra level of paperwork essentially. If Amazon ever has a problem with you, you've got the Qogita invoice, you've got the seller marketplace invoice. That together is going to be good for all the things for Amazon. So yeah, that's why we just look at that basically, and we don't buy from sellers that don't do it. So that's our way of punishing them, but also protecting ourselves as well. So yeah, interesting. There was a lot of stock here, to be fair, but yeah, this one 576. Anyway, no good, unfortunately. We'll have to move on. This one, it sold 1,000 a month, which is pretty good. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Moving on. One thing you've got to learn is that, obviously you've got to get speed is key. Going through these listings and just finding the profitable ones essentially is the way to do it. So, yeah, okay, so here we're at £1.32. This is Rimmel. It's a mascara, so it's a really small item. £4.45 buy price. Let's see what we're doing here. So £1.31 profit. Not too, it's 30% RI just. So, it's not exactly amazing, 600 sales per month, but it's a small item. So from a shipping point of view, basically going to take up no space unless you ship a whole, 1,000 of these in one box or something like that. So let's go down and have a look at the price chart. Again, what is the main thing we're looking at when we're doing analysis? We're looking at price history. We're using price history to determine the future. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but we use the past to try and determine the future. And by looking at this, we can see that, £8, 70, 80 is pretty common for this. It does go down a little bit sometimes, but, it's not terrible. Again, Amazon's at £8.80. The buy box is around 7, maybe 8. So maybe this is a little bit of an inflated price potentially at the moment. So I'd say probably the average on this product is probably about £7. So if we put that in, it basically means that if we go back to £7, which it has been for the past 3 months mostly, would be making sort of break even. Looking at the year, pretty much seeing the same picture, if not lower. So in this regard, I'm not really going to take this kind of what I would call a price spike into consideration here. I would say this is probably, basically this is too gambly essentially. Now the price may never go back down to £7 again. It may never go back down, but looking at the history, we can see that it probably will do. So we cannot buy this hoping we're going to sell for £8.66. It could easily go back down to £7-6 price and we'd be stuffed basically. Sorry, go back to the Empire saying I sometimes check Qogita price history, see if there's actual price drop or just zero. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's a good tip there as well. How do you prep these as the sticker is so small? I won't use that word. Try and keep this PG. You can just stick it directly onto the actual item itself, or you can throw it into a very small poly bag and just put that on the label on the poly bag. So either of those is absolutely viable. No problem. But yeah, you can see here how maybe someone could get caught out with this one. So looking at this price history, the 3 months, I'd say, out of this 12 weeks that we've got in this 3 months, probably for about 11 of those weeks, it's been around £7. So going in and hoping it's going to stay at £8.66 when it's only been there for a week, it's a little bit optimistic. And realistically, you're going to be down to £7 again and you're making no money. So yeah, cool. An interesting one, this one, because I believe Arbisource has made a small mistake here where it's doing a 2-pack, but I could be totally wrong. So we can see here on Qogita, this is a single pack. If we check GTIN, oh yeah, this one's a bit of a weird one. It doesn't always come up with the correct product. I don't know why. Databases have got an issue. We can see here that if you actually buy 2 of these, there's no money in it. So Arbisource has done its best to match up this product here using the image, this one, and unfortunately, it's no good. So what we can do is we can port a mismatch here, and it's been reported to Arbisource, and they'll hopefully fix that. And we'll move on to the next one. So here we can see an interesting one. Again, looks a bit price spiky, but we'll jump into it quickly. So £1.53. Could be quite a nice one for an ungate, by the way. Oral-B requires 100 units for an ungate. So bubble wrap, no, I wouldn't do that. No, no way. You'd be sat there all day. Can you imagine bubble wrapping like 100 or 1,000 of those? No way. So this one here is £1.53. Apparently, I'd seen the price of £1.22 in the past. 1,000 sales per month, which is really nice. I've bought multiple times, sorry. So we'll actually look at the actual... I hate this bought multiple times thing. It's pointless. The actual numbers between 6 and 900, which is still pretty good. But again, we can see here we've got a price spike. So pretty much this lives at $3.99, and then it's just suddenly gone up in price. You don't want to be gambling here and, and hoping you can get it sell for £7, £8, whatever it was before. And we look at the history, we can see pretty much always lives £3, £4, £5. The current price right now is really high. By the time you order it, and to be fair, look, this actually it's crazy. This guy here has got the buy box at $7.80, but the lowest price is $4.47. So I'm assuming they do not have it in stock just yet. If we have a quick look, £4.47, we can see that delivery is for Thursday. So here's a good example of this guy here. He has it in stock. It's in Amazon, 26th of June, tomorrow when it'll be delivered. He has the buy box at £7.80. This person here has obviously just sent some stock in at £4.47. Amazon's not giving them the buy box because their stock's not going to be in and delivered till whenever it is, So Amazon here is trying to give a good customer experience. So, interesting. An interesting one anyway. So, moving on to the next one. I hope we find something, but no guarantees. Clinique. Let's have a look. I might have to put the profits like £1.50 next time. I'm not liking on these £1 sort of 13 profit items. But one thing to remember is you're not always going to find products. This is where you have to, best advice is do what I do essentially. I wake up in the morning when I'm doing Qogita sourcing. I take this essentially the midnight to 6 a.m. scan, which is all in one file on Qogita price drops, throw that into RB to run. I'll then take, let's say I've woken up at 7 a.m, whatever, I'll take the 6 a.m, 7 a.m, the 1 hour one, put that in as well. And then essentially what I'll do is I'll run every hour, essentially. Every hour the price drop comes in, I'll throw that into RB and then, and do the scans, and that's the best way to have a good chance of finding products. This one here, I'm going to skip it because I don't like the profit on it. Let's try and find something good. Okay, someone was asking about this brand earlier, actually, Cowderly. So this used to be hard gate. So you used to be able to sell this, then it went hard gated, then it's now available again. However, there are some red flags on this listing we'll have a look at now. So, the one big red flag on this one. Can anyone in the class tell me what it is? I'll give you a chance to tell me what it is. What's the big red flag on this listing? Well, if you can actually read it. If you just look just above my head, here, above my finger, you can see the. It's not two sellers. No, ACA. That's not the red flag. There's a huge red flag on this one, and that is that the sold by. If you have a look here, is Quarterly UK. So I'm assuming that's the brand, unless someone's being sneaky. We can always go in and have a look. Cowderly UK Limited. So that's the brand themselves selling, and So one of the biggest indicators of, excuse me, I've been yawning all day. One of the biggest indicators of, I'm going to try and energize myself more here. Sorry, maybe a bit monotonous. One of the biggest indicators of IP is the fact that brand's on the listing. So, and we can see actually there's only one or two sellers on there. Now, this is not a perfect thing because basically everyone got kicked off over here back in July 5th last year. And then no one else is able to sell on this listing, and only just now has it become available to everyone. Unfortunately, though, Cowderly's on, or Quarterly, whatever you want to call them, are on their brand, so it's just immediately move on essentially, and that brand can be restricted basically. It's there's no point selling on that one. So we'll move on from that one. Tommy Hilfiger, interesting. I'm going to skip that one. When I'm looking at Hazmat items, so Tommy Hilfiger, which is a perfume, obviously, or an aftershave, I want to be making more money because shipping's more expensive, things like that. So we'll skip that one. But looking, the price looks okay, to be fair. To be fair, one thing I'll do here, and we're a little bit early to think about this, but it's worth keeping in mind. I'm sorry to mention it really early, but Christmas. Q4. So if we can find a really good deal for a perfume, it's worth maybe thinking about buying it, holding it. It's like 6 months to Christmas, isn't it? But 3-4 months till Q4. We could look and see maybe if this price spikes around Q4. Could be kind of interesting. So how do you sell in Hazmat? I mean, basically the best advice I can give you for Hazmat is use a prep center, because prep centers have all the proper contracts in place to send Hazmat items. If you do it yourself through like UPS, for example, which is what most people do, you are not insured because you need special, like, not licensing, but you need to tell them and they need to approve that you can send in Hazmat. So you are taking a risk if they lose the item and they ask what's inside and you lie, and they find it. I mean, yeah, it could be bad for you. So basically, use a prep center. If you want a recommendation, use Warehouse Goblins. Chris is the owner. He's in my Discord group. But yeah, so that's what I'd recommend basically when it comes to that. If you've got them yourself, you can take the risk, but it's quite a risk, to be fair, because a lot of these items, they cost, I mean, this one's quite a cheap one, Tommy Hilfiger, only like £10 cost or whatever, but some of these perfumes cost 50, 60, 70 pounds a bottle. If you're sending 10, 20, 30 of these in, suddenly your parcel's worth 2, 3, 4 grand or whatever. That's a lot to be sending into Amazon without insurance, in my opinion. So use a prep center. Let's have a quick look though. Let's just see, is this a good one for Christmas? Like it sells pretty well now. So if it's selling 400 per month now, I'm assuming it's going to be 5 to 10 times that by Christmas. I've got no idea. So we'll go down and have a look. So I'm hoping it's going to be 2,000 to 4,000 at Christmas. So we'll look at the history on this one. So right now, it's a little bit of a spike in terms of the sellers, but let's go back to the year, and we can see in December, actually, okay, there we go. It was like, normally it's like 10x, but sometimes it's not quite 10x. We can see actually in Q4, it spiked up actually from like 100 a month all the way to 2,000, 3,000. Which is kind of insane. There's a slight lag, by the way, on these results from when the time frame. So what it looks towards Jan, it's actually in December. Interesting. So given that this was only selling 100 a month and then spiked to 3,000 at 400 a month, in theory this should go up even more, but who knows? The most important thing I'm looking at here is that the price never went above £19. So in fact, it went down in December to I guess what happened here is some people were panic selling maybe, or Amazon was killing the price. But yeah, basically it's never gone beyond 19. So while the sales per month has spiked, the price hasn't spiked. So it's probably because this is like widely available. It's probably millions of bottles floating around, so it's never going to run out of stock. So anyway, so it's worth looking into. We can see here we do get these massive price spikes on perfumes after shades of Christmas, but the price didn't go up on this one. So, and there's no guarantee, by the way, if it did last year, that it'll do this year. But it just gives you the kind of indicators, really. So yeah, cool. So sometimes it's worth looking at those kind of things, especially this time of year where you can start thinking about that kind of stuff. So this one here, and thank you, Jacob, for joining us. Second stream. Yeah, I'm trying to stick to my schedule of Monday, Wednesday, although I've missed out on something tonight for you guys. So I was meant to be going speed dating, but then I thought, no, I'll do my stream. So, stick to work. Actually, I forgot about the speed dating, I'll be honest, until it was too late. Anyway, cool. So hopefully I'm not boring everyone. What we'll do, I'm going to have a quick look at this one. I'm going to speed up now a little bit so we can actually try and maybe find something. So I'm going to go through the speed now and articulate really quickly what's going on. So this one here looks like a price spike, to be honest. £12 and now 21. It's like 15 to 12 in the past. It's like 22 now, 18, 19. So looks a bit price spiky to me. It does sell a lot per month. If I was to put in something like £15, let's have a quick look. What you're going to make? You're going to make no money, so move on from that one. This Bioderma stuff looks promising, but yeah. So here's one here where I'm going to be looking for Christmas on this one. Another one that sells really well at Christmas. 400 per month now, again, so I'm going to 10x that. It's going to be 4,000 in December. Apparently I've seen it for 25.55, I think it is, before. So let's do £26. Let's have a look here. So go to the year. So yeah, December was 6,000. So it's actually way more than I thought. But unfortunately, the price actually collapsed at Christmas. So on this one, it did go a little spike here, and then I guess someone got it in stock, and the absolute price collapsed, or people started panicking. But yeah, so and this has been selling for like £30 in the past. So yeah, I'll pass on that one then. So looking at that price, I could be wrong. It could be that the £40 is the new floor on that one. It's hard to say really. Yeah, I'll probably skip this one here. Not quite enough money. We know this one is no good. Why do we say this one's no good again? Oh, it's transparency, isn't it? So yeah. ROC I don't think is no good. £1.30. Let's have a look here. Maybelline, it's not enough profit really. I should put more profit okay, this is kind of interesting. £2.10 profit on this one. I'm a bit worried. I've not seen this brand before, so kind of interesting. Oh, it's earplugs. Okay, so $4.41 is our buy price. Apparently, I've seen it before. I see another seller on there right now. So price-wise, this is another one, by the way, a lesson for you. So if I put this to £10, for example, £2.14 is the profit. If I make this 10.01, pretty sure on this item is going to work. Watch what happens to the profit. Yeah, it goes down by £1. So this is one of those items that's essentially like an old small and light item where you want to keep it under £10 or get it to a minimum of like £12. So £10 gives you £2.14 profit, £12 gives you £2.37. So never be between 10 and 12 essentially. So what was the price? I think it was 9. Okay, interesting. So this one's kind of interesting because there's no FBA sellers. There's seller, so maybe you can't actually sell this. So maybe it's you can't actually send this in. Kind of interesting. Okay, and let's look at the history. So one of these ones I'll probably have to add to Seller Central. I won't do that here, but kind of could be interesting to be fair. I'll throw this in, and you guys can have a quick look and see if this one for yourself. Is it still available on Qogita? It is. There's 370 units. We can just do this here to make sure we're actually getting. Okay, so unfortunately the data here is not that great. This just pulls it from EAN search. We don't know exactly there's 8 pairs, but ignore the picture. To be fair, that's not irrelevant. That's not relevant. So the ASIN doesn't match up. So okay, I see the problem here. I see why. I see I've missed something massive here. It's a pack of 2. So this is, again, you got to be very careful. This is a pack of 2, which means you're getting 16 earplugs. So that means the price actually here is $8.82, which means that we're losing money. Okay, so that is where I've gone wrong then. I nearly missed that one pack of 2. It's why it's always good to just double check these things, essentially. It does say pack of 2 there as well. So why did no one tell me that? You guys are meant to be watching. You could have pointed out my mistake there. So that's what's gone wrong there, basically. So yeah, it's a 2-pack. So don't get caught out on that one. Going down here again, this is another item that does work Christmas. So again, this is 200 now. I'm imagining this is going to be 2,000. In fact, no, this is going to be more than 2,000 at Christmas. I'm going to go for 4,000 at Christmas. So I'm going to go 20 times. Let's have a look at what we're at here. So right now, a bit of a price spike. Going to the year, it was 2,000. I should have stuck with my 10x. Oh well, 2,000 at Christmas. But yeah, price, again, this is actually a really high price on this one. So again, we won't buy this one. So cool. Let's have a look around here then. Anything Medicate is restricted. I don't know why that's in there. Armouth Club is kind of interesting, but yeah, not enough profit in that one. We're getting down to the point where I want to buy stuff with probably 100 sales per month minimum, really. That's where we're kind of getting to that point now. What I'm going to do is go to the other file. This is 12 to 3. We'll have a quick peek through that and see if there's anything interesting. And then I'll just go back to the old the chatting. And yeah, so nothing so far that's been amazing, to be fair. So we'll do £1.20. Let's do £1.50 profit on this one. Going to get rid of the buy box here, exclude results of our buy box, confirm monthly sales. Hopefully we'll find something, but yeah, so £1.85 for something so expensive, probably no good. Opalex is restricted, again, shouldn't be in this list. We'll have to get that removed. Ebin, I've never heard of this brand before, so another one to investigate and have a look. Could be kind of interesting. 400 per month. What is it? A melting spray, something like that. I don't know what that is. 442. Let's have a look here. So 400 per month. Price is a little bit. It's been like £9 in the past, so not ideal. Still money though. 27p. It's not terrible. If our worst case scenario is like break even, that's not too bad. But yeah, it looks a little bit price spiky, to be fair. It looks like since middle of April it's gone up to like £13 and £12.50 to £13, and yeah, it's no good really. I think if we ever go back down to this old price, we're stuffed. We're not stuffed, to be fair, but we'll be just selling it for break even. It's kind of interesting. There's lots of people on this brand, I think. So yeah, I think this brand looks okay, to be fair, from what I can see. There is a bit of a drop here. Let's have a quick look at this one. So a bit of a drop off, but nothing too major. So, and everyone came back. So, yeah, this one here, is that the one we looked at? I can't remember now. Something to keep in mind. It was a while back, but yeah, in 2024. Anyway, interesting on that one. So, just not enough profit in it, given that I think the price is a little bit high. Bioderma, we've looked at that one before, haven't we? Not that one, but that brand. Oh no, it was Bioderma, wasn't it? That's why I get confused. It's a different brand, isn't it? This might be one that's restricted. I can't even remember now. Maybe not. Yeah, this one looks okay as well, to be fair. Let's have a look here then. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not finding anything today, but you just got to go through and put the effort in, and you'll eventually find some stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much how you do the sourcing on Qogita, but obviously at a much more rapid pace. And you can pretty much just go through the hourly scans pretty quickly. It doesn't take too long. Go down to about 200 confirmed sales per month. maybe 100 sales per month. Let's have a look at this Osmo one. Osmo. See if this looks okay. £6.44. I've not heard of this brand. I don't know why Opalex is in here. That's meant to be restricted. So we can see actually if we go onto that one. Hopefully it's not going to let me down now. We can see that OA Hero should tell you it's restricted. It does. So OA Hero, my Chrome extension, by the way, you can buy from oahero.com. £100 for lifetime. You can, it puts this restricted label in there right now, and you can also double check it as well. So yeah, that just warns you that this brand is yeah. So which scanning app are you talking about? The Arbisource ER, is that the one you're talking about? Not sure exactly. Opalex or Olaplex, what it's called, Olaplex is hard gated, I believe, and I know the culprits who caused it to get hard gated as well. So yeah, Olaplex is hard gated unless it's suddenly become available again. Sometimes that does happen on Amazon. So yeah, okay, we got a good number of views actually. So hopefully I'm keeping you guys interested. So the Qogita one, so it's called Qogita. Oh yeah, this one here. If you talk about the restricted thing and then with the button, this is called OA Hero. Links in the description for that. Yeah, you can. It's my one, oahero.com. This is my extension that I created. You can. It basically works for on an arbitrage sites. Gives you information on order limits, things like that. Also works on Qogita as well, and like we've seen here with the restricted brands, the search and stuff. And it's only £100 for lifetime. There's 100 licenses available for £100, and then once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to support me and get an app that's, I've just hired a developer to help develop it, and yeah, and then it'll be going to £200, I think, for lifetime. But yeah, anyway, if you want to check that out, that's cool. It basically adds in this restricted stuff here on restricted brands and gives you this information here. There's more stuff coming though, where my developer's breaking this up now. So right now, the restricted label comes up for everything, whether it's IP, PL, parallel import, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be splitting those labels up and putting some more information in there as well. So yeah, that's the plan on that one anyway. So so it's Qogita price drops we're using Qogita, obviously we're using Arbisource, and then this is OA Hero. The one for the file is Arbisource, so that's one over here. But so it's Qogita price drops is the one. Yeah, if you look at the description, you'll see all the softwares we're using. So in the description of this video, you've got all the links and all the softwares that we're using. So we're using Qogita, which is the place we're buying from. We're using Qogita Price Drops, which is a server run by my younger brother. He basically monitors Qogita for price drops. We're putting that CSV file into Arbisource, and that's what we're looking at here essentially. And then when we're on Arbisource, we're using OA Hero to check these items to make sure we're not buying restricted brands. This brand looks interesting anyway. We'll look at this one, then I'm going to go back to just chatting. Because I'm quite tired from sourcing. 644, kind of interesting on this one. Lots of profit on this one, 60% ROI. So we can see in the past, again, we've got like essentially, it's hard to see here, but this is a massive price spike. So this has been like £9 to £13, and then suddenly we're at like £18. A bit worrying. Amazon is at $12.59, but I'm assuming they've run out of stock, which is why this guy's got the buy box at £18. So we can have a look and just confirm that. But yeah, this is a massive price spike. So yeah, we can see 23rd of October 2025 to the 2nd of Jan. So there is actually opportunity here potentially. Excuse me again, tickly throat. As I'm getting excited here. So when I see this, there's no guarantee that Amazon will get it in sooner, but kind of looks interesting. So it's definitely a gamble still, and you'll notice as well that as the price has doubled from $9.94 to nearly £20, that the sales per month has gone from 1,000 per month all the way down to like 200, 100, 200. So obviously this shows you that buyers are not buying as much at this price, and they're waiting for it to come back. But yeah. Kind of interesting one though. I mean, for 84 units, it might be worth a gamble on this one, to be fair. I mean, it's kind of interesting, to be fair. So as long as it doesn't restock, it's been in stock for a while actually. It's just dropped down in price. But yeah, kind of interesting. I've not seen this brand before, and say Amazon are out of stock for a very long time now. So I guess people have looked at this and maybe not looked at the actual delivery dates on this. So it could be a very interesting one. I'll throw that out there for you. I'm not saying you should buy it, but it's probably one that I would take a gamble on, to be fair. But yeah, so yeah, it's a kind of interesting one, really. Again, we can use OA Hero, just double check this is the same item. So Osmo, Super Silver, Yellow, no Yellow, it basically matches up perfectly, perfect. That's good. A very interesting one there, this one here. So, yeah, kind of tempted by this one myself, to be honest. A bit of a gamble, I'm not going to lie, because if we go back to £9, this was it £9.94? Just call it £10 basically. If we go back to £10, we're losing 60p. So, you know, it's one of those ones where you're a bit of a gamble. You might lose 60p per unit, but then you might make, what was it before? You might make nearly £4 a unit. And to be fair, if this guy runs out of stock, it might go up even more. Although you got to remember that, as we've seen here, that as price goes up, sales go down. Simple supply and demand, essentially. Or price and demand, I should say. But yeah, kind of interesting anyway. So I'm probably going to call it a day on the old streaming, but I'll stay on and chat for any kind of questions you guys have got or anything like that. We can hang out. And I'm quite tired today, to be fair. So we'll stay on for another 15 minutes and answer any questions you've got or anything like that. So, hopefully you enjoyed that anyway, found it useful. Me articulating my thought processes and things like that when it comes to doing sourcing and MTT, I totally missed that question. I did see it and then totally blanked on it, my bad. I'm sorry about that. So I've had, is it the same question as before? It is, yeah, so my bad. No problem, yeah. I've had returns from Amazon many times. The items have looked okay, so I relabeled them and Amazon sold them at full price. Our return's a bit of a scam with Amazon. I guess you're very lucky, to be fair, if you're getting items that look okay. Sometimes you get items and they've been trashed, slightly used, heavily used, Sometimes people return things sealed. It all depends, really. So people definitely abuse Amazon returns, don't get me wrong. It's probably one of the worst parts of Amazon. I don't know. Get them back, and if you can sell them in as new, I consider that a bonus. I very rarely get items back that are still sealed on new. You can, if they're looking in good shape, you can sell them as used like new, used very good. Amazon have a grading system as well you can implement as well, which they should avoid you getting stuff sent back to you, and then they'll grade it for you and sell it. Hopefully that answered the question on that one. So sorry I missed that question before. No excuse considering there's not that many questions. Christina, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So no problem, happy to help you with the showing you the thing. So you're a newbie. I was wondering if you had any tutorial on how you use all three to source. I joined late, but using Bybot Pro and Keeper. So same principle, using Seller AMP as Bybot Pro. To be fair, it's the same principle. I do have a video which I can get up for you now. I'll grab that quickly. But you can watch this again. So once this is finished, you can go back and you can rewatch this. It'll be available on the stream, so you can do that. But I've also got a dedicated video as well to show you, which I'll just grab up now, which you can watch if I can find it. Here we go. Get shareable link. Put that in there. There we go. So you can go and watch that. But yeah, obviously to get the latest kind of way of doing it is what I've just shown you essentially. And I said all links to this stuff is in the description. So if you're wondering what software I'm using or how I used it, all the stuff, they're all there. Most of them have free trials, I think. Obviously, Qogita you get £120 for free, no brainer. Arbisource has got a 7-day free trial. OA Hero is £100 for lifetime. To be fair, so that's so cheap for lifetime. Qogita Price Drops is a discount code for that, which gives you 25% off your first month, I think. So. When you factor in the Qogita £120 discount, you're basically making money. Jacob saying Amazon's grading system is not good. I have noticed that as well. I've seen some people in the past. That was actually a very interesting. I think I posted it last time. There was an interesting CNBC thing that was posted just a few weeks ago about Amazon returns and how one woman, she sold a lot of stuff for new mums and like breastfeeding stuff, whatever, and Amazon graded something that got returned by someone as like used like new and it had rotten breast milk in it. So got to be careful sometimes this kind of thing. You might get a bad, and then obviously you're the one that takes the hit for that. You're the one that gets in trouble. So sorry to make you puke if you're eating dinner or something, but it's a good thing in theory. The grading thing that Amazon doesn't always work out though. So But yeah, hopefully, Christina, you'll be able good. You can watch that video. You can rewatch this as well. This live's going to be available afterwards. You can even scrub back, I think, as well, and watch from the beginning if you want. But it won't be live. You'll get the interaction with me. So probably watch to the end, then you can watch it again later on. So Wayne's saying, any obstacles to overcome when creating an Amazon business account? Same business bank details across multiple accounts. So no, I use the same details across all my accounts. Now, I know recently people have reached out to me and said they've made an order and Amazon have suspended their account and they want you to just verify your identity. Just do it. Just send them stuff. And the reason I think they're doing this is because people are creating, and I know there's someone out there that's selling business accounts and they're just using random persons' limited company details, which is just fraud. So don't use a random like Coca-Cola Limited or whatever, or Apple Inc., whatever, use your actual business or make a sole trader up. That's what you should do. You don't use a random. So I think that's what's happened basically. Amazon are clamping down on that. So you just send the information in. It's just a bank statement essentially, and you're good to go essentially. Yeah. So both of those people that I've helped with that have got their accounts back within 24 hours essentially, and you're good to go. But yeah, I use the same card details across all my accounts. So yeah, it's all good for me. So where am I now? MTT saying, what I mean is I sent like 100 shampoos, 20 turned unfulfillable, and then Amazon sends them back to me. Oh yeah, I've had a few of these recently as well, actually. I don't know what's going on. I was actually speaking to Chris at Warehouse Goblins, actually. He said that I don't know what you can do about this, to be fair. Someone sent in some items, I can't remember what they were now. Some food item. No, not food item. It was something only with a sell-by date. And they said it was out of date. Like a vast majority of them. So they recalled them, and then the date was like 2026. So I don't know why or what had gone wrong there. But I've also had a few items recently. I've noticed that actually where they are marking down as unfulfillable. It's a recent thing that I've noticed actually. I had it recently with some Maybelline some Maybelline product. I don't know, mascara or whatever it is, lip gloss or something. I don't know. Yeah, and I had a few unfulfillable, and I've had one come back now, and it's absolutely fine. So I don't know what the problem is. Very strange, yeah. So I actually do know what you mean now. Yeah, my bad. I don't know whether just the warehouse people are being picky, or I don't know what's going on, to be fair. So very strange. Something to keep an eye on, actually. But yeah, I've got some big news that I cannot reveal about Amazon, actually. But yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully in the next few months you'll find out that amazing information. Kind of interesting, kind of exciting, to be fair. Hopefully I'll be the one that can break that news to everyone before it's released. So some inside info on Amazon. Going to be very exciting. It's going to help a lot of people. Okay, cool, yeah. So ACA saying, can we have live to go through A2A to get ready for Prime? Can we have a live to go through A2A to get ready for Prime? I've already done one, mate. Let me get the link for that as well for you. I've done a live. You can rewatch it back. I went through all the tips and tricks for A2A and Prime. I'll put that in the chat now for you. Maybe I could do another one near the time, but I've kind of already done one. So, but I could potentially do another one, to be fair. People, it's always nice when you do these ones and people message you saying like, that was an amazing video. So I'm like, okay, appreciate it. So definitely check that out. I give up lots of information, lots of source in there. So yeah, it's good. It's a good one, to be fair. So check that one out. That was a live that I did and talked all about A2As, how to set them up and things like that. And you're all good to go. But yeah, so what to look for. So when it comes to Prime Day, I will be online in the voice chat in FBA Moguls. We will be there watching the profit sweep deals come in, and we'll be discussing and talking about the deals and sharing deals and stuff. So we'll be on. I'll put an announcement out of that a few days before, maybe just to let everyone know. But yeah, we'll be good basically, and yeah. We'll do that. But yeah, if there's anything I've not covered in that video, let me know, and I can maybe cover it next time. So no problem, Christian, it's fine. Yeah, I feel like I've gone a bit backwards today. I've been re-gated on things, and even if I'm not gated on the brand, I cannot sell. Yeah, it's because you're new. Yeah, I'm assuming you're a new seller. If you're under 3 months, sometimes they do gate you on these products. It's kind of annoying. You send it in, and then they say, no, you can't sell it. You sort of get some sales under your belt. You've got to be a seller for about 3 months, and all these things will open up to you again. You'll be fine. So assuming they're just like the standard brands and stuff like that. It does happen. They're a little bit harsher on new sellers, to be fair. It kind of sucks, but ACA. Who I don't know who is it that sells accounts for 20 quid? It's insane. Because they're just using random limited company details. It's like, it is actual fraud. And obviously Amazon have seen, I'm assuming by the way, have seen these accounts come in and all these fraudulent accounts, and they're now clamping down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know who it is, but yeah, do you want to DM me? Or you can actually say in here, name and shame, to be fair. It's really bad that they're selling them. So, it's good. Yeah, offer another Discord group. Not good. Just create your own. It's not that difficult. Again, I go through all that in that previous video. The only caveat I think I'd say to change that is, I say in there you can cancel orders, never cancel orders. Use a blank card. That's the only tip I'd change in that video. So, so MTT, I've heard you be able to choose a fulfillment center when you send your parcels rather than being auto-chosen by Amazon. I've not heard that before, but that's very interesting. Okay, kind of interesting. That's an interesting one. That's not the news that I've got, but that's kind of interesting and interesting news. So, okay. So one thing I'm working on is doing an interview with a relatively high-level Amazon employee. So, yeah, who knows if that will happen or not, but that's something I'm working on right now. It's hopefully going to happen, but yeah. No guarantees though, but that'll be very interesting though. And if I do get that arranged and stuff, I'll put out a little announcement for questions, so make sure that I take full advantage of that. But yeah, then I'll have to spend time editing the voice, making the voice change and stuff, and blurring out and things like that. So why am I getting messaged by Spence? Okay. Spence is complaining that his new BizBot is too fast. So there you go. So if you're in Profit Sweep, you're in for a treat. So you still going live in your Discord on Prime Night? Yes, I am, mate. Yes, I am. I won't be live. I'll be in the voice chat inside of the Discord community. There's a voice channel in there, because that way we can all talk to each other, rather than this being like a one-way thing. We can communicate and chat and stuff. So it'll be a kind of two-way thing, and I'll be saying what to buy. And, have you missed this? Have you missed that? Hopefully you guys will be doing the same, and we'll do that. Basically, we'll work together on that one. So Gary saying, will it help me with getting ungated with a Qogita invoice? Very frustrated reapplying on 2 brands. What do you mean, Gary? Will it help? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know what you mean. Qogita. I love Qogita, don't get me wrong. You guys know I go on about Qogita all the time. I've spent a freaking fortune on Qogita. Honestly, it's insane. But I personally have no luck ungating with their invoices. Now, other people have. I know people have ungated like super tough brands like Paco Rabanne and things like that with like Marc Jacobs and stuff with Qogita invoices, and like the first time as well. I personally just had no luck, so I kind of almost given up with them. But I just don't know. Yeah, maybe I just don't persevere long enough. But yeah, so I just always just go back to just ordering from the Tino generally, or Look Fantastic or something like that. Just get 10 units from there, and then that's what I tend to do really. I just personally just had no luck with the ungating one, and ungating is getting very tough right now as well. So just for me to save time and stuff, I just rather just buy from the Tino and get those ungated items from the Tino, and then I still buy from Qogita obviously, but the stock. But when it comes to ungating like invoice, I'd use something like Notino or Look Fantastic, something like that. So yeah. Can I make one using your details? I suppose if you want, yeah. I guess that's the problem. You can't you? You got unlimited limits, yeah. So I definitely don't have an unlimited account. Yeah. MTT saying, I also heard there's going to be a premium version of Seller Central you can pay for better. Where did you hear this from? That's interesting. Okay, where did you hear that? I swear I literally said that last time, and I was like, that'd be really good if you could pay for that. But yeah, I was just something I said that could be interesting. I don't think they're actually going to do it, but that could be very interesting though. Definitely, I think I mentioned that last time, so maybe, I don't know, unless you've heard it from a different source, it could be interesting. But it'd be really weird that I talk about that last time as like a good idea, and then Amazon do it. Maybe they're watching me. Who knows? They should be watching me. But yeah, so the inside info. Yeah, I can't say, mate. I cannot reveal any information on it right now, basically. So yeah, I'll let you know near the time if it even happens. I I got problem with Bioderma on Qogita. What problem did you get? Let me know what problem you had with that one. So you got same inside source, yeah. Premium seller I heard from. Okay, I don't know who that is. Okay, but sure, okay. Never even heard of that person before. So are they an Amazon seller? Are they seller support? I've got no idea. Interesting though if they did that though. Like I said, I think it's a good idea. Charge people more money to have better support. 100%. I think we'd all pay for it. It'd be one of the biggest money makers they could do. I mean, they should be doing it for free anyway, but sure, if I want to charge me more for better support, fine. You know, that's fine. Oh yeah, ungating Bioderma. I think I got a problem on Qogita. So you weren't able to ungate. Is that what you're saying with Qogita on Bioderma? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I personally just don't have any luck with, but I think it's because I just don't have the patience for it. I'm not going to sit there. I mean, it takes 10, 20, 30 times. I just have a better success rate with other retailers, so I just tend to just buy the ungate from there and still get my stock from Qogita. Just easier for me. Yeah. So yeah, just keep being persistent, and you'll get ungated. It pretty much will happen. It just takes time, pretty much. Yeah, just keep trying. It takes 20, 30 times. Basically, it's going to the USA thing. I remember everyone in the USA used to complain massively. They're saying, oh, I've had to apply 10, 20, 30, 40 times. Sometimes more. And we're sat in the UK thinking, what? I applied like twice and got accepted. Well, basically, we're like the USA system now. So, yeah, where it's really hard to ungate. But hey, it is what it is. You know, it makes it harder. It means less people can get into Amazon, which means it's better for you guys. So, yeah, just persevere and you'll succeed, essentially. Cool. Any other questions then, guys? So hopefully you guys found that relatively useful. We didn't find anything decent. We found that one kind of gambly product, which I don't necessarily recommend you buy. I don't know if anyone actually has bought it. I don't know if I've still got it open. But it was kind of interesting to me, to be fair. I might be tempted to buy that one. I'm not going to lie. Bundles of 12. Just add that to my cart. And let's have a look and see. But yeah, I could be tempted by that one, to be fair. A bit of a gamble, but it's not too expensive, really. Okay, one problem there. It doesn't hit the minimum order value. That sucks. But yeah, so which fragrance brands can Amazon sellers sell? Loads of brands. Marc Jacobs, Versace, Paco Rabanne. You used to be able to sell Lacoste. I'm looking at one up there. You can't sell that anymore. Amazon decided, you know what? No one can sell Lacoste anymore. We're going to sell it. And then you look at some of the listings, and then there's no one selling it. There's dead listings. So that was stupid of them. What a great... And the whole reason they did it was apparently for customer... What was their BS excuse? Like customer satisfaction. Well, I guess they're really satisfied now that no one can buy it. Great work, Amazon. Yeah. What other brands you can sell? Oh, God, there's loads of brands, to be fair. It's probably easy to tell you what brands you can't sell. You can't sell Thierry Mugler. You can't sell Hugo Boss. You can't sell Calvin Klein. You can't sell Lacombe now, or Lacombe, however you pronounce it. Lacombe. There's probably a few others, but yeah, you can definitely sell more than more brands that you can not sell, if that makes sense. How much have we got on Amazon right now? Good question. It normally hovers around 150, to be fair. So 149, 820, and 23p. That's what I've got in there right now. So yeah. I had a bit of a clear out again. So I'm on 2,000. I mean, my results are actually really quite poor, but I barely spend any time on Amazon these days. Actually looking at it, 2,700 profit so far this month, which is I'm really kind of disappointed with that, to be fair. But it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, it should hopefully pick up. I've got some really killer deals today. The past week actually on A2A on Profit Sweep, some really nice biz deals. So yeah, I've been really sick. So if you guys want to join that, by the way, there's not a link in the description, but you can go to fbamogul.com. There's a link on there on the right-hand side. By the way, check out fbamogul.com. Amazing website. So, yeah, I'm everywhere, guys. I'm everywhere. I'm getting my fingers everywhere, you know. Trying to build the website out with articles. There's a brand new article today on fbamogul.com, by the way, to do retail arbitrage on boots. So check that out, fbamogul.com. We've got Wes is writing me an amazing Why is it? Okay, I thought it was down for a second. Writing an amazing series on doing retail arbitrage. So we've got Farm Foods, we've got Boots, we've got Entertainer, Argos, TK Maxx, although don't shop at TK Maxx, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Curry's, all those guides are on there. Smith's, B&M, Home Bargains, are all on there. So we've got a really nice catalogue now of retail arbitrage articles on there. And then obviously I'm writing articles every now and then, online arbitrage articles, things like that. So loads of articles to learn on fbamogul.com. But yeah, MTT 150k essentially, yeah. So it seems to be hovering at 150. I sell and more goes in. So hey Dilly, I think it's the first time you talked actually. Thanks for joining us, by the way. It's got a good number of people on today. We peaked at 26, I think, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So where to get finance? Non-VAT registered. So Wayflyer is no good. Ulend is 20. Yeah, Ulend's a joke. To be fair, I got offered a loan by Wayflyer, and it was really not a good rate, actually. So I've heard people had really good rates in the past, but the rate they offered me, I can't remember what it was now, but it was something like an 8-month loan. They were going to take a decent chunk out of my disbursements every 2 weeks. And I think they wanted like 15%. It might have been 18%, actually. I was like, why would I do that? I barely got them. 8 months barely gives me time to even use the money. And then you want to charge me 18%. I was really disappointed with what they offered. Really disappointed, actually. But anyway, it is what it is. So yeah. Do you have more money in the stock market or in Amazon? Definitely more money in Amazon. Yeah, I've got very little in the stock market right now. Probably, I don't know. I'm not going to say actually, but yeah, not. I pulled a lot of money out the stock market to put it into Amazon essentially, but I did put a little bit back in when Trump put the tariffs in there. So made a little bit of money, but stock market's for long term. That's the thing. But right now, I'd rather have the money in. In fact, I should pull out what I've got in there, put it into Amazon. So yeah, I've probably got about £20,000-30,000 worth of stock either on its way to the prep center or in the prep center. So I know a load of stuff arrived today actually. Load of Versace. Versace arrived today at the prep center. So So when it comes to actually getting a loan, I have no idea. To be fair, you're not going to get any decent loans as a sole trader or as essentially. Just utilize credit cards if you want to like stretch things a little bit. Do it very carefully, to be fair, because don't forget they'll be on your personal name. So don't spend more than maybe is in your disbursements, I would say, just to maybe stretch things just a little bit. And I think the key is just be patient with Amazon. But so I've got more money in property though, MTT. So that's where most of my money lives, in property, to be fair. So yeah, that's where most of my money is. Property, then it's Amazon. Certainly not my car. I've noticed my deferred payments have increased recently, and now I can't disperse as much as I used to. So I don't think anything actually changed this. I think they just changed the name of it. Because I think I was speaking to someone about this, and they said actually everyone's been kicking up a fuss, but actually nothing's changed. They just renamed pending payments to deferred payments or something like that. So, but at the end of the day, it will be dispersed when it gets dispersed. There's literally nothing you can do about it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. It comes out when it comes out, essentially. There's nothing you can do about it. But I've always said Amazon should just pay you right away. Once you've got a history with Amazon, they should just, I'm going to tell them. Well, hopefully I'll get this line of communication going with Amazon. I've got a load of words to tell them, to be fair. I'm going to have words with them. Because they don't talk to sellers. Their literal communication with sellers is the Seller Central forums. That is pretty much their entire basis of like communication to sellers, which is not a good place to talk to sellers. Awful. Hey, Exposed Facts is going. I see. It seems you usually stock up for Q4, and that's when you make the most sales. Yeah. So look, this year's just been terrible for me, but I've not been focusing too much on Amazon, to be fair. So I scaled down Amazon massively in the first quarter. I basically did no Amazon in Q1, January, February, March. And then I started scaling up again, and I'm struggling to get it going, but it is going, to be fair. So, but I really don't focus that much. I spend most of my time doing other things, essentially, mainly Discord and the education side of things. So I will get back to scaling Amazon. I want to get back to 10,000 a month just to prove that I can. It's also good for my channel and things like that. So yeah, it's something I'll be doing at some point. But yeah, my results are not that great right now. So, but I've done it in the past, so it's all good. I know what to do. I just need to spend more time sourcing. It's pretty simple, to be fair. I just spend my time elsewhere right now. So next question then. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is around. I don't know if it actually changed or not. But yeah, again, nothing you can do. As long as you are getting paid out, that's the main thing. If you're not, open a case at Seller Central. Oh, sure. That's a good... Yeah, well done, Gary. Thanks for reminding me. Let me get that for you. Let me just remind myself what it is. But yes, I will do that for you. Bum, bum, bum. So yes, it is. Oh my God, I forgot what the code is. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to say it, though, so no one can just go through and just look in the chat. How to enter. Cool. So yeah, it's very simple. It's all capitals, and this one's a super simple one, guys. It's Qogita Mogul, all one word. And that's how you can enter with the secret giveaway. This Qogita. It's called Qogita Video 25th of June on the giveaway. The link for that is at the top. I'll give it to you guys again if you want, and you can go and enter that if you want. I should have put it in the description. I'll do that afterwards. The link will be in the description for anyone's watching afterwards. I'll put it in there. You can enter up. Loads of ways to enter. This one gives you some more. Reward you guys for coming on watching me. So yeah, Qogita Mogul, all one word, all capitals. So any problems, let me know. But yeah, that's how you enter with that one. Get your extra 25 entries. Basically, every video I do, every stream I do, there will be an extra code. So just to kind of encourage people to come and watch and stuff. And yeah. One of you guys is going to win a MacBook. One of you is going to win a pair of AirPods, and one of you is going to win a £100 Amazon voucher. And if things go really well, I might double that up to 2 MacBooks. But we'll see. No promises on that one. Yeah. I'll put it on screen then. So let me do that quickly. That's a good point, to be fair, actually. But yeah, so well, that kind of for all those that are listening in Braille, I apologise. So MTT says, do you prefer Dubai or UK, having stayed in Dubai for 3 months? So it's a tough one, really. I really do like Dubai, to be fair. I love the weather out there until it gets really hot. The lifestyle is certainly very interesting out there. There's things that I don't like, though. Some things that I won't go into for maybe obvious reasons. But overall, it's a pretty nice place. The only main reason I don't like Dubai is it's a very transient place. I want to basically, my intention was, and maybe I was unrealistic, but I wanted to move somewhere where I could like put down roots, essentially. Buy a house, which is in itself insane because it's so expensive because everyone's moving there, and you can't buy anything new because it's all like 5 years ahead. If you buy something new, it's like 5 years to be built. But basically nowhere you can put roots down, really. It's a very transient place. No one stays there in summer, so if you've got friends there, they're all going to literally bugger off for 4 months in summer. To be honest, no one plans on staying there for more than like 3 to 5 years. So it was a bit of a weird place for me to go and sort of settle down, really. The other thing as well is I actually wouldn't save any tax just because I'd have to move my Amazon business out there, which will be a nightmare. Could you imagine? You know what Amazon's like? Can you imagine trying to change your address to Dubai? It'd be a freaking nightmare. Probably get close. So I wouldn't actually save any money on tax, really. Eventually I would, but right now I wouldn't. And yeah, the fact that it just was, I don't know, yeah, it's there's good things and bad things, really, but yeah, that was one thing that kind of put me off a little bit. It's a very transient place. It's a very superficial place as well, and while I love a Lamborghini like everyone and things like that, I don't know, it's just a bit, I don't know, it's awesome, but it's not somewhere I want to live, if that makes sense. So I tried it out, thought I was going to do it. At one point I decided I was, and then I thought, you know what, not for me, really. If I was in my 20s, maybe I would. If I was in my early 30s, maybe I would as well. As I'm getting to 40, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's one of those things. So, yeah, when the winter comes there in UK, I might be changing my tune, to be fair. So, but yeah, I did actually really enjoy living out there. I love the warm weather and living down by the marina and going to the beach nearly every day or walking down the beach and just, the lifestyle is fantastic, to be fair. It really is fantastic. So, I will probably just visit once a year for 3 months rather than, actually living there. But Who knows? Anyway, it's a bit of a weird one, really. It's not what's massively one reason. Although dating scene out there is ridiculously horrendous for men. That's another reason as well. Again, going to my 40s, it's you don't want to be going somewhere where it's like an absolute nightmare to date people, or anyone who wants to date you is only after your money. Like the first date's straight to Nobu, where it's like £1,000 bill or whatever. Ridiculous. So yeah, a lot of different reasons, but no like one major one apart from the sort of transiency of it all. But yeah, sorry, there's a long answer to your question there. No problem. Yeah, Notino's good. Again, you're still gonna have to try hard. It's not guaranteed. Look Fantastic's another place you can use as well. What other ones are there? I can't even think now. I mean, most places, if they give an invoice, you can ungate with. But yeah, I've had really good success with Notino. But no problem, Gary. It's absolutely fine. So what are your long-term plans? I mean, for now, I'm just going to stay in the UK. I want to go to Australia, but the only way I can move to Australia is either buying my way in with millions of pounds, which even then takes a while, or marrying an Australian. So maybe I'll go to Australia in January for 3 months. Actually, to be fair, I might go for 3 months in January. Not even joking. But yeah, it's impossible. You cannot get in. It's impossible. They are so strict. My younger brother tried to get in, and he's got like 9-10 years software engineering experience, senior software engineer. He has a decent amount of money as well, a decent amount of money, and he wasn't even close to getting in. The big issue there is that software engineering is extremely competitive because you're up against people from Pakistan, from India and stuff, and unfortunately you're thrown in the kind of same pool as them. No offense, not anything like that, just saying how it is. They don't look at the fact that he has like a lot of money, stuff like that. They don't look at things like that and other factors. You are just essentially in the pool. It's very difficult. So yeah, it's nigh on impossible. So yeah, I'm not sure. Right now, stay in the UK. So I do like the UK. To be fair, I think it's going downhill. I go for a walk around in the UK and there's trash everywhere, which kind of sucks. You don't get that in Dubai, but then they've got like a worker force that keeps all that stuff clean and things like that. So there's ups and downs. Like the UK is lovely in summer. Don't get me wrong. I love the UK summer, and we actually get one. So yeah, for right now, stay in the UK. There's other places like Cyprus potentially as well, but yeah, I don't know yet. We'll see. Just make my fortune in the UK and then get taxed heavily on it, and then I'll figure out. But no, yeah, if you know a way, Empire, let me know. But it's basically impossible unless you're really rich, or marry someone there, or have got a job like a doctor or a plumber, or actually, if you're in the mining industry, you can pretty much get a job out there as well. But yeah, but not just a mogul. Apparently, YouTubers are not in demand out there. UK, come on, this has not been a bad summer, to be fair. It's been okay. Well, it's a bit up and down, but it's not too bad. Today was quite nice. So ACA. Empire, we're going to have a 5 a.m. sourcing streams if you go down. Yeah, that's the other. Yeah, it was actually quite difficult to do streaming in Dubai. Yeah, just because of the time zone and stuff like that. So, yeah. MTT said, ungated Clinique using Notino, sold a few units and Amazon regated me. What can I do? I've sold over 18k. That is so weird. For someone who's sold so many units, I've never heard that before. Very strange. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Are you still... Okay, it's very strange. I've never heard that before, MTT. For someone who's got a lot of sales. We had 7 days of sun. Yeah, then we had a few days that were bad, but today wasn't too bad. It wasn't fantastic, but it's still not bad. So it's still warm out there. So, yeah, I think my car thermometer is broken. So I went driving out last night, like midnight. It was saying it was 34 degrees. So I need to look into that. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's actually going to be nice in the weekend, I think. I'm not sure. Monday, I'm not sure. Yeah. Can OA Hero existing customers get the 200? Of course you can, mate. Any OA Hero customer can get 200 entries. Just DM me and I'll give you a code. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you're an existing customer, you 100% get the code. Or if you're a new customer, you get the code as well. Qogita, though, it's only for people that signed up and placed their first order from the 20th of June to get those 200 entries. But yeah, so... Maybe a business investor visa for Oz, just buying a coffee shop or something empty. Yeah, you have to employ... I can't remember the exact rules. There's different levels of it. But yeah, that's one option potentially. Yeah, but you need the money for it. I think it's like a minimum of like $1 million. You need to hire a certain number of employees. I'm just not in that position yet, even though it's like, what's 2-to-1 right now, is it? I'm not sure what the exchange rate is. I can't afford to just whack in $1 million, Australian dollars into a business like that. But yeah, that would be one way, to be fair, to do it. But it's not quite that easy, I don't think. But I've kind of looked into it, but when I saw the investment amounts, I was put off. Because there's different ones. There's like $1 million. I think there's $1 million one. I think there's a $2.5 million one, a $5 million, a $10 million one. And even then, it only gives you like access for 10 years. I think a 10-year visa. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, there's definitely options, but they're very expensive. It's buying your way in, so that's why I work so hard. But yeah, next big thing for me is going to be buying a house. So once I get my property sold, my one in Cambridge, get the cash from that, I'm going to buy a house around here. Just nothing too insane, but just get a house. I want to get out of this apartment. That's going to be a big thing for me. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, getting into a bigger house. What makes you like Australia? So I've lived out there. I lived there for 2 years when I was younger. I lived there for 3 months. I'm sure a long time ago, 2019. I need to actually visit again, see if I like it. But it's kind of like the UK, I feel like, but nicer in terms of weather. That's what I feel like Australia is like. It's very like the UK, but it's more outdoorsy. It's nicer weather. And just, yeah, so that's what I kind of like. So if you want to go somewhere where it's kind of like the UK, I feel like Australia's a good place to go. How can you check an item on the Tino is the same as Amazon? Is there any ASINs copy? It does not need to be the same item, Gary. You can buy anything. Let's say, for example, you are wanting to ungate 10, electric toothbrushes, for example. You can buy that, Oral-B. You can buy, bad example, because you need 100 units, but you can buy 10 toothbrush heads, for example. It does not need to be the same item that you're ungating. It just needs to be something from that brand. So another good example is, a while back, I wanted to ungate some Tefal items. I can't remember what, I think there were, what were they? Some kitchen item anyway. I don't know what it was. I can't remember now. A sandwich toaster or something. I bought 10 kettle filters. They're a couple of pound each. Total rip-off. But I was able to buy 10 of those. There were 10 Tefal branded items. You're good to go, essentially. So you don't need the actual item itself to ungate. It can be any item of that brand. But it has to be that brand, though. So go to Nintendo, whatever brand you're looking for. Put it in, search for lowest to highest, and buy 10 of the cheapest item, essentially, is the quick and dirty way to do it. But yeah. Cool. Any other questions then before we call it a night? I was watching an old show that I quite like, actually. Anyone seen Marco Polo on Netflix? One of my favourite shows, actually. I love that show. Seen it quite a few times. It got cancelled too early, unfortunately, but yeah. So, or I might just fall asleep because I'm really tired. But yeah, I'm actually peaking in terms of views, so people are enjoying me talking. Would I be able to rewatch this? Yes, absolutely. You can go back and watch it now, but when it's over, when I end this, it will be 100% available to watch. It's all there available to go. So, yeah, thanks for jumping on, by the way. Even if you're late, it's absolutely fine. You can rewatch it again. You're all good to go. All my lives are all available to watch again. Ayla and Alina Adventures, thank you for joining us. When did I start Amazon? My very first sale was the 6th of July 2022, which is pretty much 3 years ago now. Now, obviously, I started a tiny bit before that, maybe a few weeks before, but my very first sale, 6th of July 2022. I can even tell you what I sold. It was a hose lock. Something from Hose Lock. But yeah, so I made some good money on that as well. It was an A to A. Ryan saying, Simon, do you also have the deferred payment thing on too? I do have it as well, yes. Let's have a look at mine quickly. So it doesn't want me to log in again. Oh, wants me to log in. How annoying. Stupid two-factor authentication. Let me quickly do that. Okay, 2FA. But yes, I've got the deferred thing. To be honest, I don't pay too much attention to I just pay out every day. It is what it is. Again, there's nothing you can do about it, nothing you can change about it. So I'm very good at not worrying about things I can't fix, essentially. But yes, I've got 7,308, just under £18 in deferred transactions. So yeah, but yeah. I can do a payout now. Actually, no, I can't do a payout now, actually. So I've got to wait. But yeah, so I do have it. Yes, everyone's got it, I think. I think they just changed the name, I believe, or they might have changed something slightly. I'm not sure. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. It might have obviously messed up your payments and stuff like credit cards. That sucks. That happened. But yeah, Not much you can do about it. If you're worried, open a case with Amazon, to be fair, if your payments have stopped. Pampered Vibe saying, what do you think about selling products that only have a profit of less than £10? £10 would be fantastic to make. A lot of my products I don't make anywhere near that. So I'm selling one here right now. It's sold. I make 53p per unit, but I sell a lot of them, to be fair. So yeah. Obviously, I prefer to be selling lots of items that make 10, 15, 20, £30 profit. But yeah, if you can do an average of £10, you're going to be crushing Amazon, to be fair. So absolutely fine. It's all about how much can you make from that listing. I'm going to stop rocking around. How much can you make from that listing per month is the most important thing. You have a minimum requirement that you're going to plan to make from that listing per month, whether it's 10, 20, £50. Now, whether that's made up, let's say it's £50, for example, whether that's made up of one product for £50 profit, or, why can't I do them? I'm so tired now. Or 10 products making £5 profit. It doesn't really matter to that. Now, obviously, when you get down to ridiculously granular levels of 100 items at 50p or 1,000 items at 5p, the prep costs and hassle and stuff come into factor in there. But you kind of get the idea of what I'm saying, though. So for me, it doesn't matter whether I'm making £50 on one unit per month or 10 units at £5 each. I'm okay with either of those, basically, and I'll do both. Can you run Amazon from Dubai, and how? That's a good question. I didn't want to try it because I know Amazon get very funny about these things if I suddenly move my business to Dubai. So you can do. People do run Amazon from Dubai. In fact, we have a guy in the community who actually lives in Dubai and runs an Amazon UK business. So you can do that. And obviously there's Amazon in Dubai as well. But I've got no experience actually transferring a UK company over to Dubai. But yes, you can run a business from Dubai. There is a guy who does it in the community. If you're not in my community, link in the description for that. Okay, you've got all the links for my community, for all the software mentioned in this live stream is in the description. But yeah. Do you do private label? If so, is it hard to get into? I do not do private label myself. So what I do is online arbitrage, and I do a little bit of wholesale through Qogita. I've never really ventured into private label. I think it's a terrible idea for a beginner, to be fair. I think the best approach, personally, is do retail arbitrage, which is where you go into stores, do online arbitrage, where you buy from online stores. Do those, get used to Amazon for 6 to 12 months, get an idea of how Amazon works, understand the process of Amazon, all the pitfalls, things like that, and then you can start doing private label and transition to private label. I think that's personally the best approach. Other people might disagree, but I personally, and I've seen a lot of successful people do that. They've transitioned to private label. But yeah, I don't personally do it myself. I don't have time to even think about private label right now. So with all the things I end up doing, I don't have time. But you can do it. You can make a lot of money using private label. You need more money to start, though. Depends what your budget is to start. But yeah, private label tends to need more money. And I mean, one thing, not to poo-poo private label, because obviously it's a very good way to make money. You got to factor in the fact that people post big numbers on that. So they say they're making 60, 70, 80% ROI. The thing they don't show you is the velocity of money on that one. So they're making 60, 70% ROI, but their money's tied up for 3 months on a shipping container. And then it goes into Amazon. So they're only able to cycle their money maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times. With online arbitrage, you could cycle their money multiple times. That's how Walmart makes so much money. Walmart has a margin of like 1 or 2%, yet they make billions of pounds, or billions of dollars, I should say, every single year, because the way they cycle their money. They are constantly, they buy a product, they sell it the same day, make 2% or whatever margin is, and then get reinvested. And if they can churn your money over and over and over and over, even at small margins, it adds up to big money, rather than maybe selling once for like 20% ROI or whatever it is. I think private label was a really good method. To be fair, I'm not poo-pooing in any way, shape or form, but just something to consider and keep in mind as well. So yeah, I just sold another one for 53p. Not exactly going to get rich off that, but it adds up. But yeah, so it's pretty good. I think I sold today I've sold 1, 2, 3, 4, just 6 on this current page. But yeah, so it adds up. It's not a huge amount, but yeah, it's fine. So I don't know how many I've sold today. Yeah, not too bad really. If you want to get into private label, I can recommend a mentor for you. But yeah, I personally don't think it's the best for beginners myself. I think plan on doing it 12 months into Amazon or something like that. Does 50p kill that? Yes, it does. Yeah, so that one is it's like 83p or something. So yeah, covers my prep costs, which I've just revealed to you now. So, but I send a lot of stuff in, to be fair. So yeah. Can we have a MOOC? I need to arrange it. Yeah, stop reminding me, Jacob. But yes, we'll do one. Even if we do an informal one. I actually thought about the other day, just saying like, hey guys, I'm in Nottingham. I'm going to the pub at this time. If you want to come and hang out, just do it. That's something really informal. Thought about doing that. Might be a bit weird. I might be sat there by myself. But can you pay my bar tab too? Maybe. But yeah, so can I have the mentor, please? So yeah, if you want to DM me, I will on Discord. I'll give you the mentor, basically. Or I can tell you, as long as you tell him you came from me, it's fine. Actually, no, DM me. I want get my little affiliate link in there. So yeah, that one. So if you want it. DM me, I'll send the link to you, to the guy who does it. Really nice guy, actually. A lot of you guys know who I'm talking about. So, whatever. Tell him I sent you anyway. It's got a guy called Nikos Marco. He's on YouTube. Really nice guy. Really knowledgeable about private label. He'll help you. Just say that I sent you. Say the mogul sent me. Do you think Qogita is saturated now, as everyone knows about it? It is actually, to be fair, it's getting a little bit saturated, but all these things happen. They start off amazingly good and then there's still loads of good deals though, don't get me wrong. There's still loads of good deals and you've got to be just a little bit careful. Like at the beginning of the stream, we found a product that had like 10,000 in stock, so we passed on it because there was too much stock, but there's still loads of money to be made. What we tend to do is looking for price drops. So we're looking for items that have dropped down in price a significant amount. We can make money on them. Now, obviously, when they're bought, they're going to go back up to normal price. Just like with normal online arbitrage, we're looking for deals, looking for price drops, looking for sales, looking for clearance items. So once you buy them, no one else is going to. You don't want to buy the regular stuff that's always available for a certain price because they will tend to tank. This is why I use Qogita Price Drops, the server that my younger brother runs. Again, links for all these in the description. That's why we use that, basically. We're looking for those things that have dropped down in price. We buy them quickly, they go back in price, and we can profit. That's essentially what we're doing. But yes, Qogita is definitely tougher these days, but there's still loads of money to be made. And Q4 is coming up as well. It's going to be insane for Q4. Wholesale perfumes in Q4. You're going to print money. Yeah, exactly. Empire's just hit the nail on the head there. Qogita will get better in Q4. Stuff's selling so much quicker than people are buying them. 100%. Yeah. So yeah. Emmett saying no. Of course, it's saturated in a way that if you get a product, many others into the same product. So you've got to be careful and see how much stock's available, and look at the price history and see on Qogita and see if it's been sat at that price for a long time. Like we found one earlier, 10,500 or 11,500 stock. I think it was actually. It'd been stocked for ages, so God knows how many it's had. And it's just like with that, it was selling a decent amount. It's selling 1,000 a month, to be fair, but that's a really good sales per month, 1,000 a month. I think sometimes even 2,000 a month. But when there's 11,500 stock, even 2,000 a month, not good enough, really. So yeah, it's one of those ones you got to be a little bit careful and just look at the stock levels that are available for that item on Qogita. But there's still a lot of money to be made. And I say Q4 is when it really comes into its own, because that's where you can buy perfumes and aftershaves and gift sets and stuff like that in massive bulk, and prices tend to go up in Christmas as well as people stock sells out. People under stock items, and it's too late to send it in, and you can send a lot in, so it's really good. But again, Amazon tends to be with OA, Qogita as well, 3-month hold generally, pretty much. As an average, I suppose. Obviously, some stuff you send in will be selling quicker. Other stuff might take 3 months. But I say I buy stuff and expect to maybe hold it for 3 months potentially. Oftentimes you don't have to, but sometimes you do. Or sometimes you get them in and you sell half of them for the good money, then it drops down in price, and I'm then sitting on the other half. There's all sorts of different scenarios that happen. What's your RM profit on the products that sell 1,000 a month? That sells. I couldn't tell you on that one, to be fair, because there's no way for me to break that. I wish there was, but there's no way for me to look at that on. I guess you're asking from a theoretical point of view. Again, I look at how much I can make on that listing per month. So if a listing sells for let's say it sells 1,000 times a month, okay, the first thing I'm looking at is how many other sellers are there that are going to take that share. Let's say there's no other sellers and I'd be the first one on there. That means I get all 1,000 sales. In that case, I'd be willing to make I don't know, 10p a unit or something, or whatever, or pound, let's say a pound a unit, whatever I'm willing to make, because I'm going to I'm going to get all the sales. I'm willing to make a lot less money. Let's say I'm looking to make maybe £50 per month on that listing. So I'd be willing to sell for way less. However, let's say there's 9 other sellers on there and I'm on the 10th. That means, it doesn't quite work this way, but we're going to evenly share the SPM. I'd expect to get maybe 100 sales per month. Now, if I'm looking to make £50 per month, then I'd be looking to make 50p per unit on that one. So it depends. So I look at it, I do look at ROI, and I do look at SPM and things like that, but I'm looking at really generally, how much can I make on this listing per month? That's the most important thing for me. And in my guide that I'm writing right now, I have actually written a rule. Let me get it up for you. Because I knew this kind of stuff would come up. And it is and you guys will see it when you actually get to read it. I can't remember what my rule is now that I came up with. But I do get asked this all the time, to be fair. And what I will say is, if you guys want to know what ROI and things like that you need to buy, I'll tell you when I actually find this. It's a lot of words. If I can find this. Scrolling down. So I came up with a 30, 50, 10, 10 method or rule, which is basically 30% ROI as a minimum, 50 sales per month. If I can remember the rest of it now. Buy only 10 units, although that doesn't quite work for Qogita, to be fair. This is an OA rule, to be fair. And stick to a 10% price variance as well. So you don't want the price to be varying up and down like crazy. So we'll see how that actually rule plays out in real life. But I felt like I needed a rule that I need to put into this guide because I get asked all the time. So yeah, is it 50, 30, 10, 10? 50%, no, 30, 50, 10, 10. 30% ROI, 50 sales per month minimum, 10 units per when you buy, and 10% price variance based on what you're looking to sell it for. So yeah, we'll see if it plays out well. But I've been sat writing this guide for ages. Stalled a little bit, but yeah. So can you buy less than 100 products on Qogita? So Qogita is based on the minimum order value for each supplier. Every supplier has. What I suggest you do is sign up, use my code FBA Mogul, and have a play around and have a look. It will give you a better idea. But generally, so each supplier has its own minimum order value. Sometimes it's £300, sometimes it's £950, sometimes it's £500. Doesn't tend to go above 950. Most of them are between 300 and 500. So that obviously depends on how many units you're buying. It could be you're buying a really cheap mascara, in which case you're going to have to buy a lot of units, or it could be you're buying a 50, 60 quid perfume, in which case you can buy 10, or even less. But it all depends on each supplier. What I suggest you do, is get signed up and give it a go. Again, links for all these in the description. You get £120 for free off your first order when you use my code, which is absolutely sick. So take advantage, use code FBA and Mogul, all capitals, when you sign up for that. Why is 50p profit even worth it? Because 50p can add up. Why not? Basically, why not? I take the good with the bad, basically. So yeah, I can sell a decent amount of that. I don't know how many I've sold today, but it's a decent number. So it's not a huge amount, but I've got a criteria of, let's say it's £50 per month I'm looking to make on a listing. Like I say, if I can make it up from 50p units, it's a very small item and it was easy. It doesn't take up much space in the box. Obviously, I didn't prep it myself, to be fair, but yeah, I was happy to do that, and so why not? If you can sell, would you sell 1,000 units a day at 50p? I'm pretty sure you would. That's £500 profit a day. If you could do it, why wouldn't you do that? So I'm not saying it's the best way, to be fair. I'd much rather, to be fair, doing high volume, high profit, obviously, but realistically kind of lower volume, higher profit. But if you're doing Qogita, though, it tends to be more, it's a volume business. So you're looking at the kind of like high volume and lower margins, lower profit, but you can buy decent quantity. So there's multiple ways to do this game. I try it all, basically. I've done all the methods. This one's more consistent, I think, but yeah, try it all. Give Qogita a go and see what it's like. I mean, just 120% discount makes your first order like super profitable. But yeah, super rare to find a product that sells 1,000 months and there's no sales. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was an example, just to show, basically. I'm not. Yeah, in fact, it's extraordinarily rare. It's actually impossible. But yeah, it was an example just to show you that it basically, the answer is it depends how many other sellers there are. on that, because you're not going to get the full share of the sales. And even then, it doesn't quite work like that. But as a simplistic view, you divide the number of sellers, the sales per month by the number of sellers. Hey, up to FBA, how's it going? Evening, Simon. All software upgrade. Awesome, mate. Good to hear, mate. Absolutely. So glad you're doing it. So you've got to find a deal now, basically, on Qogita. So let me know tomorrow morning. I'll probably be doing some sourcing tomorrow on Qogita as well, and we'll compare notes if you want. But yeah, awesome, guys. If there's no further questions, I will probably call that a night and go and chill for a little bit before bed. So I'm going to sleep well tonight. I've been yawning all day. I don't know how many times I've yawned today, but it must be 100 times. But yeah. So, but yeah, thanks, guys. Anyway, last chance to get a squeeze in a last question if you want. And guys, again, if you want to give Qogita a go, all links in the description. You've got Qogita price drops in there. You've got, with a 25% discount, you've got Qogita with £120 credit for your first order. You have RB as well, which is the software we use, which has got a 30%, 7-day free trial, 30% off your first month. You can join my community, which is 100% free, where you can join other people. There's nearly 2,000 people in there now, all helping each other out. And yeah, that's it. And then obviously don't forget to enter the giveaway as well, which I'll put the link in the description for that after this video. So anyone watching afterwards will have that. So yeah, have a chance to win a MacBook. It's open to anyone in Europe and UK. So yeah, awesome, guys. Thanks very much. I do appreciate it. And again, this whole thing is sponsored by OA Hero as well. So if you want to buy my software, support me. It's £100 for lifetime. It's a no-brainer. It's going to make you money. So, yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, guys. Anyway, I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Monday.